I'm going to start recording right now, and also, before we start, I'm going to get your permission. Do we have your permission to record these debates? Let me tell you how this debate is going to go first, and then you can tell me if you want to give your permission or not. What we always do in all of our debates to preserve the anonymity of our opponents and to ensure that we can even have opponents is we just only record the video portion of this, and then we distort the audio, so our voices will be a little distorted, and then we're going to post it on our YouTube channel, so people will only see something about Manhood Academy, and then they'll just hear our distorted voices. So, if you consent to this debate, say so now.
Yeah, as long as that's just audio and it's
just audio. It's only audio. You can view any of our debates on our YouTube channel. That's how we always run our debates. If we purposely try to expose them and put their face out there, we couldn't even have these debates. It wouldn't even be possible because a lot of the charges.
On Facebook yesterday.
Oh, you know why I did that? I want to cover that too. Okay. Just to let the debating audience know, I did post this coward's Facebook page, and here's why. Initially, this guy came into the chat room making all kinds of accusations against Manhood Academy, which is no problem because we have, we have opponents and critics all the time that come in to challenge us. Great. We welcome the challenge. That's why we have these debates in the first place, so that we can confront our critics, confront our challengers. This guy backed out of a debate and gave some bullshit excuse. First he was gung-ho. He came in the chat room and said, "Right now, Professor, you debate or you're pumped." I said, "Hey, first of all, I have stuff to do right now. I'm more than willing to debate you, but we haven't even set a time yet. I can't just say debate and then just start right now. I have other stuff to do. You're not on the top priority of the Academy list, okay?" So that's number one. Finally, we agreed to a time which was, I believe it was 4 o'clock yesterday.
7:30.
No. We agreed to 4 o'clock. Okay.
No, 4 o'clock was today. 7:30.
No, what was before? No. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. I'm mistaken. It was Thursday when you were first a coward. We agreed to debate at 7:30.
I'm not going to do the debate if you don't give me a second to talk here.
Well, no, I'm saying you can rebut. You can rebut after I'm done setting up the scenario. You can rebut it. I'll give you plenty of time to rebut it.
I'm going to stop right now, and I'm going to say something, or it's not.
Go ahead.
From the start, you just dropped and called me a coward twice. Here I am. First of all,
you are a coward, and I'm going to prove my case.
Well, I sent you a private message. I didn't come into the chat room first, and I didn't insult you, and your reply was
you didn't come into the chat room and make accusations. We have a chat log of all your bullshit accusations.
I did, but I messaged you first privately so we could talk, and you just
insulted me. No. Okay, you're a guy talking about insults because you in the chat room you say, "Oh, everybody's dropping insults. Everybody's insulted me. See how humble and how sophisticated I am. How." Yeah, you're going around telling everybody that we're immature and childish because we're insulting you when your very first PM to us was childish and insulting. I can read the very first PM you sent me if you want me to read it for the record. In fact, let's do that. Let's see what
I'm reading your reply. Make sure you read your reply.
No, this is your very first contact with us. I didn't contact you. You contacted me. Let's read your very first contact to see how mature you are. Here's how mature you are. Okay. Number one, you title your PM, "Seriously, bro?" Seriously? Okay.
I didn't say bro. I said
yeah,
seriously.
I'm sorry. Seriously. Okay, that makes it less childish, right? When you just say seriously with a question mark, that is a sarcastic bitch move. First of all, right off the bat, you're insulting. You're saying your implication is, "Oh my God, I'm so indignant. You guys are so tragically off course." My only rebuttal is butthurt, righteous indignation. Seriously? I mean, why would you title your PM that way?
Of my wording.
If
I
you were,
say I was butthurt.
So when you say seriously, what does that imply? What does that imply when you say seriously, bro? What does that imply?
Were you guys for serious?
Yeah, it's implying you can't believe it.
In fact, now serious, but you guys have lots of heavy-duty material.
Okay, let's read the rest of it. Let's read the rest of your words to see what the tone is here. Let's see if, yes, you're an academic scholar. Seriously. Okay, so you start off seriously with an insulting tone. "Hello, Professor. I did not take the time to learn your real name, so I will not provide mine. I must ask you, do you honestly think you're doing anything to promote good argumentation and debate? Of course. I am a male. I'm not a feminist. I majored in philosophy in university, which, if you have any education at all, you would understand to be the background of all good argumentation and deductive reasoning. So right off the bat, another insult, which, if you had any education at all, implying I'm just some dumb country bumpkin and I don't understand how to argue my points. I mean, you're talking about insulting, and you come in here. Your title is insulting, and your first statement to us about this thing is insulting. Do you have an education? If you had an education, you could understand this. You don't think that's insulting?
You know what? And I even said to you, I even said multiple times, I came on aggressively, but
but before you were lecturing us about manners and insulting and how we should handle people, when right off the bat, you're the very first person initiating contact, insulting us like a cowardly little bitch. And now you want to control the rules and say we can't return the favor in kind?
No, different. See?
Oh, it's different now. Explain how it's different.
Let me explain it to you.
Okay, go ahead.
I came on aggressively.
Right. I would call it more than aggressively. I would call it condescending. Aggressive is when you say, "Come on, let's do this." Condescending is when you say you don't have an education to understand this.
You just made yours in silence, so let me make mine. I came on aggressively, condescendingly,
yes,
abrasively, however you want to word it.
Insultingly.
Okay, insultingly. I came on insultingly, fully admitting to
right?
this.
Oh, now, no. This is the only time you're admitting. This is the first time you're admitting this.
No, I admitted it in chat earlier.
No, you did not. You kept harping on us being immature and childish and calling you a faggot, which you are. I'll explain that term, but by the way, you won't allow us the courtesy of expressing ourselves the way we want to express ourselves. And yet,
you gotta let me explain myself.
This is why we have a moderator, so you don't cry like a baby about this.
No, see, again, this isn't civilized discourse. What I was
Wait,
saying
civilized discourse is somebody who comes in good faith and doesn't condescend to the other person. That's civilized. That's not civilized discourse when you do that.
We're going nowhere. So do you want to start the debate or not?
We are starting. This is the debate.
This is a debate about me messaging you and whether or not
it has everything to do with the position you're in right now. You're a condescending, hypocritical little bitch, and you don't want to admit it. And we have the evidence to show it.
I just told you I admitted I came on aggressively.
No, you only said aggressive. You're a liar. You came on insulting and condescending, not aggressive. Insulting and condescending. There's a big difference.
I said aggressive, insulting, condescending. And
you went back and you said aggressive. Aggressive doesn't even apply. Insulting and condescending. Insulting and condescending are the keys here.
You're fine. I came on condescendingly and insulting.
Yes, like a childish little bitch. So how are you lecturing us about childish name calling? How are you lecturing us about this?
Can I explain now?
Go ahead.
Can I have 60 seconds of silence to explain this?
Go ahead.
Starting now.
TikTok.
Okay, now, when I came in, condescendingly insulting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, you don't have to admit it if you don't want to, but I did post in chat and say, look, I realize I came on aggressively. And I
aggressive. Once again, aggressive, not insulting and condescending.
It's still not been 60 seconds. And I said, but I apologize for that. Can we carry on in civilized discourse? And you refused. You did refuse. And I have not insulted you since then. Okay? And you have continued to. But I'm okay with that. Whatever. If that's how you want to be, that's fine. I'm here to debate. I've got my shit to say. We can debate and get started, or we can continue talking about messages that don't matter. It's up to you.
Okay. You're a lying fucking faggot, first of all. So it's going to be very difficult for you to debate when you can't even tell the truth. You're saying you stopped insulting? No, you haven't stopped. You've never stopped insulting. You're a lying fucking faggot. You have not stopped insulting. We have the chat room record. It would be one thing if I was just making blind accusations. That would be one thing. We have your whole chat room record along with your very first PM of all your insults. You've been nothing but insulting and condescending. So you're a lying fucking faggot when you tell us that, no, sir, initially, only one time I came insulted, but then I apologized in the chat room and my behavior totally changed. Wrong. You're a lying fucking faggot. We have the whole chat room record, and because you're a scared little bitch, you won't let me read the evidence into record. Because I have all the evidence. I can go through the chat room record and prove you wrong. You're a lying fucking faggot.
Alright, look, again, I didn't say you can't read it. You just paused.
Well, you're telling me it's a non-point when your whole MO is insult, act like a hypocritical little bitch, and then try to play it off like we're in the wrong here. When you're the fucking faggot who tried to have a debate with us, you scheduled a time to be there, and then you made a little bitch excuse right before the debate. Sorry, the dog ate my homework.
I messaged you 3 hours before it started.
I know. You messaged us 3 hours to tell us you couldn't make it at the time because you had an appointment scheduled 30 minutes after the time of our debate. Okay, that was 3 hours before you were telling us that, right? And I told you, hey, just come in here into the chat with us like we're doing right now, and let's set a time. Because I'm not going to trust you if you're not going to at least come in here because you already pussed out like a little bitch. You wouldn't even come in just to set the time, not even the debate. So you're a cowardly little bitch. You have no credibility.
Hey, if that's what you had said to me was to come in and set the time, then I didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me? I typed it in the chat. What do you mean? You acknowledged it.
I acknowledged you inviting me in. I didn't realize it was just to set a time.
I told you, come in here. We're just going to set the time. I said 1 minute. You didn't even come in. You're a cowardly little bitch and you're a liar.
Okay, whatever. Look.
Okay, whatever. It's a crux of your MO here. It's not okay, whatever. It's you're a liar.
Ideologies. Can I talk about what's wrong with
Okay, we've established that you're a liar, and also I want to make this point for our other cowardly opponents, our future opponents. This is the very reason why we hold these debates, because all our cowardly opponents are just like you. They want to hold chat room debates because they're cowardly little bitches. And because you can't hear a tone, you can't hear a typing tone, you can't hear a typing tone, so because there's no typing tone, you can't, the other person can dodge arguments like a cowardly little keyboard warrior, just like you dodged all our arguments. Now, face to face, you can't dodge the argument. You can't dodge the fact that you're a liar. You can't dodge the fact that you're a cowardly little bitch and you broke the time and you made it seem like you made the time and you challenged me in the chat room. I made the time. He's the real coward. You're wrong. You're a lying fucking faggot. But face to face, I can call you on your lies, whereas in over chat, you can conveniently not even answer the argument. That's why we don't debate you cowardly faggots over the keyboard, because we know your tactics. We already know your tactics.
Okay, I'm here now.
Great, let's start. You ready to start the debate now?
And I'm trying to tell you what's wrong with your ideologies. Are you going to listen to me and we're going to debate, or not?
We're gonna debate, but in order to have a debate, you have to be able to listen to the other side. It's not gonna be. I hear everything you say. If I wasn't listening to you, I wouldn't be able to poke any holes in your argument. The very fact that I'm paying attention to what you're saying is the very reason I know you're a lying fucking faggot. That's the very reason I know that. I'm paying attention to everything you say, and I'm showing it. I'm showing cause. I have chat transcripts, and I have your PMs. So I'm making a rational point based on my observations.
Here's what we're going to talk about
I'm making a rational point based on my observations of your behavior. That's how I'm able to make these rational points. If you had half a brain, you would realize that all good, solid argumentation is based on observation, not fucking delusional feelings or opinions.
All the inductive reasoning is based off of observation. Deductive reasoning
You can't even fucking induct or deduct because you can't even fucking tell the truth.
Okay, look. What I'm saying is I have actual debate about your ideologies.
I want to get to it too, but I want to cover your bullshit first so the audience is clear. You're a lying fucking faggot and a coward, and you proved it, and I have the chat transcripts, and I have the PM you initially sent me to prove it, and I'm not just making wild accusations against you.
Dude,
Unlike you, I'm not into, it's not a fallacy. I'll read the rest of the PM if you want to read it. Let's enter it into record. This is your first contact to us. I'm going to enter it into record.
I didn't call you a liar. Listen.
You are definitely a liar, though.
I didn't say I wasn't, and I didn't call you
a liar. You didn't say you
weren't
a liar. Okay, so now you're admitting you are a liar.
Okay, do you know what an ad hominem is?
Yeah, explain it to me. I'd like to hear this since you're so sophisticated and you know all your arguments. I can't wait. What's an ad hominem? Please tell me.
An ad hominem is Latin for to the person.
Oh,
what it means
to the person.
When someone has a contrary view, rather than attacking their argument, you attack the person. So you just called me a liar.
Yes, you are a liar because you lie. Liars usually lie. That's an observation.
Okay, even if you're right, even if I'm a liar.
What do you mean, even if I'm right? I have the records to prove you're a liar.
Okay, it's irrelevant now.
No, it is relevant. Okay. We've established you're a liar. We've established you're a cowardly little bitch. We've established both of those points right in the beginning.
But that's why you're attacking me and not my argument.
No. I'm attacking your behavior, how you're conducting yourself. You're a lying little bitch. That is your behavior.
That's my argument now.
That is your behavior. That is what I'm attacking. I'm not attacking your person. I don't know you personally. All I can go on is what you've done and what you've said. That's the only thing I can go on is what you've done and what you've said.
So I have a quote from your book now. Can I mention
No,
this?
I want to read the rest of this first, and then I'm going to ask you again if you agree to be recorded for this debate, and we can start the debate.
No, we already discussed this. I got a question for you about your ideology.
I haven't finished reading your cowardly, bullshit, condescending initial message yet. I don't want people to think I'm a liar like you. I want to show cause for my views, okay? So I'm going to read the evidence, all right? You sent me
quotes from your book.
Great, we'll cover all those. Believe me, we're going to cover everything you want to cover. This this debate is done when you are done, not when I'm done, when you're done. When you've debated me to your satisfaction, that's when the debate's done, not when I'm done.
I'm fucking ask you a question.
Yeah, but I'm not done with my part yet. I'm still making a point that you're a lying little coward. I'm still making that point.
That's an ad hominem, you fucking moron.
Oh, okay, fucking moron. Let's see what's an ad hominem here. Let's see what's an ad hominem. I'm a male. I am not a feminist. I majored in philosophy. Laughable. Which, if you have any education at all, would understand to be the background of all good argumentation and deductive reasoning. Which you've demonstrated none. You're a fucking idiot. You make no sense. I want you to understand these things clearly. Oh, thank you for condescending to me. When I say to you, you are one of the most ignorant people I've ever met. Absolutely choosing to be uninformed. But even putting aside your vast ignorance, your arguments are unsound. I think we've demonstrated you're full of shit. Do you need me to explain that term to you? Oh, there you go, condescending little bitch again. It means that your conclusions do not follow from your premises. Your arguments are vapid and chock full of fallacies. Yeah, ironic you're making these accusations. The straw man fallacy, all over the place, red herrings, ad hominems, means attack onto the person, where you attack the person proving the argument rather than the argument, providing the argument rather than the argument itself. If you are going, that doesn't even make sense. If you are going to spout off about how good an arguer you are, in quotes, you should at least avoid the common fallacies. I'm being lectured to by a fucking idiot. You have lost all credibility, says the guy who fucking made it a commitment to debate me and then ducked out like a scared little bitch. I lost credibility, you lost credibility. You've lost all credibility. All who follow you are simply misguided. Yeah, everybody here is an idiot is basically what you're saying. And ignorant, simply misguided. Everybody here at the Academy is simply misguided and ignorant and much akin to their leader. Regards. Can't believe I bothered. Yeah, look at you even end like a cowardly little bitch. Your butt hurt. I can't believe I bothered. Like you're so put out that you had to make this reply to us. You address me like a cowardly, condescending little bitch making all these insults, and you have the nerve to lecture me about ad hominems? You're a fucking hypocritical faggot.
Look, I told you I thought your arguments were wrong, and I told you why.
Okay, great. All right, I can't wait till we hear from the audience on this debate. Let's go to your points. Let's cover the debate right now. Okay, so you agree to be recorded. We're going to distort the voices. We preserve the anonymity of everybody in the debate, including the audience members.
Fine. Are you ready now?
Let's go.
All right, page 17.
Page 17. Do I need to turn to it, or you can even share it if you want?
I've got it written down.
All right, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to open up my PDF so I can follow right along with you. We'll cover every argument you want to cover. All right, hold on a second.
Male guidance.
One second. Let me pull it up. Ebook. Principles 101.pdf. Okay, pulling it up. Page 17. You said page 17?
Page 17.
Okay, going to page 17. Okay, wait a second. 37, 30, 22, 20, 19, 18, 17. Got it. Which paragraph?
It's going to be...
If you have your, if you are in the debate...
Before the quote.
Hold on a second. If you're in the debate, please mute your mic. If you're not the other debater. Please mute your mic. Thanks. Okay, go ahead. Where is it?
Paragraph right before the quote.
Paragraph right before the quote.
Halfway through.
Women place priority?
It says, without male guidance. Yeah, that's the paragraph, but it's like a sentence in, or two sentences in.
Okay, bottom of the paragraph. Without male guidance, women invariably neglect to consider the viewpoint of others.
Okay, now, I'm going to tell you why that claim is wrong.
Okay.
And then you can retort, okay?
Great. You mean rebut?
Synonym. Doesn't matter.
It's not a synonym. A retort is like if I make a snappy comeback. It's not, a retort doesn't even have to make sense. Why would I give it a retort?
Now? I'm going on to the debate. Who cares, okay?
I care because it helps if you make sense. You're the guy who's talking about making sense. You don't even care about your words.
Okay, so...
Why don't you just say banana if you don't care?
Have you ever heard of the term feminist ethics? I'm not trying to be condescending, I'm just asking.
No, I have not heard the term feminist ethics.
Okay,
can you explain it to me?
Feminist ethics comes from this study that this psychologist posed a long time ago. He asked a bunch of young boys and girls a question about a farmer who had a dying wife. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so he asked them what they would do. Should the farmer steal the money to buy the drugs to cure his wife, or should he let his wife die? And most male children would answer either along Kantian lines of categorical imperative. He would say, you can never do wrong, no matter the reason. Mm-hmm. Or the males would answer in a utilitarian way. They'd say, well, it's for the greater good to steal the drugs because everybody's happier. Okay? But the women wouldn't have an answer, right? The girls would just, he initially concluded that the girls were unable to answer because they were not as ethically evolved as males were.
Right.
But what it turned out to be upon further study and upon further observation is that the women were actually needed more information to make a decision because they were curious about the social relationships of others, right? It wasn't just about whether or not the farmer should do it because he wants to. It had to play into account the wife's relationship with the farmer and with the pharmacist and with the town. The point is, and what feminist ethics really means is that when you're trying to figure out what is right and what is wrong.
So is that proving that men are that women are more ethical than men? Is that what it's basically essentially trying to say? No,
it's just that we approach the problem differently. It's not more or less or anything. It's just that men approach it in a very black and white, get right and wrong, this is this or this is this. They're much more akin to approaching it that way. And women, by and large, on a whole, are much more akin to approaching problems by considering others, which is directly contrast to where you say women invariably neglect to consider the viewpoint. When, as we've seen in modern science and modern philosophy, that the contrary is true.
Right, okay.
What do you have to say?
That is complete and utter horseshit. Okay, first of all, feminist studies are a joke. They're a fucking joke. We have a whole section in the visitors, we have a whole thread in the visitors section talking about feminist lies, domestic violence, wage gap, any other bullshit that they could pull out of their ass. Feminist studies are notoriously full of shit. They're just straight up lies. They're just straight up lies. They're just straight up lies. Okay, but we can do this logically. Since you want to do this logically, this is a debate. We're going to do this rationally. You're trying to tell me that women, by and large, consider more things than men when making a decision about an argument or a social situation or something that's going to affect us.
By and large, women tend to consider more social relationships than men do.
More social relationships? What does that mean, yes. More social relationships? Do they consider more points, or they just consider just the social aspect?
Well, no, they consider the social aspect, the viewpoint of others.
What's that mean when you consider the viewpoint of others? What does that mean?
So, for example, the druggist's wife, or the farmer's wife is sick. He wants to buy the drugs from the druggist. He won't sell it to him. He says, no,
the farmer's wife is sick. he wants to buy drugs from the druggist to cure her, to help her, right?
It's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow your hypothetical here.
Okay, so what happens is that guys, men who answer, younger children, they often have a right or wrong answer. It's this or this. It's this or this. Girls are always like, well, how does the farmer get along with his wife? How does the wife get along with the druggist? How does the druggist get along with the townspeople?
Okay, and that has what to do with the price of tea in China?
No, what the experiment showed was that before a woman makes a moral decision, she more often considers the viewpoints of others, which is contrary.
So we're talking about morality here. So morality is depending upon other people, right? Is essentially what you're saying, because they're considering other people's input.
They are. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying. This is what the study showed. I'm not
right. So we're breaking down the study. We're saying we're making a moral decision here, and women. You just proved how incoherent women are. Women consider other people's points of view. So women basically take a poll, a consensus for what should be moral.
No, that's
such
not.
a sad moral stance.
That's false. That's an incorrect.
Such a relative moral stance.
No, it is not about taking a poll. You're misunderstood.
Okay, then clarify for me, please.
I'm trying to.
Great.
What it is about is not about taking a poll and being like, what does everybody think we should do? Mm-hmm. It's about considering their relationships and how it's going to affect people based on what happens.
Show me how these considerations even matter. Tell me this. Go ahead. Show me how these considerations matter. How they're so evolved and so moral that they're making all these considerations. Tell me exactly how these considerations matter. Go ahead.
Dude, you don't need to get angry. Look,
I'm not angry. I'm asking you to make a point. Since you're full of shit, and we're going to expose you're full of shit when we get into specifics, we're going to see how absurd your argument is. So go ahead. Explain how these social connections now are going to tie into how girls are more moral than boys. I got to hear this. Go ahead.
I never said girls are more moral than boys.
You're implying. Okay, what are you saying? What are you saying?
All I'm saying is that women, it's been shown that they consider the viewpoint of others, which is
okay. So I'm saying, how is this relevant to the moral decision here? Explain it to me.
Your book says that women neglect the viewpoints of others.
They
do.
They do. We prove that all the time. I mean, look it. If women were so considerate, they would be begging to get in the draft because women are so big on equality, right? Well, men have to be conscripted. Why can't women be conscripted? They would be marching in protest. They would be marching in protest that only men have to be conscripted. Why aren't they doing that? Why aren't feminists doing that? Okay, also, since women are so considerate, why is it that feminists, strangely, only care about women in the boardroom? They never talk about women in coal mines, women in construction sites. If they're so considerate of the little man, why aren't they considering those relationships if they're so considerate and so moral?
You're attacking the wrong thing here.
What do you mean? It's a parallel argument. You're saying that women are so considerate in their morality, that they're so much more evolved in their morality, that they consider so many angles. That's why they consider all these relationships. Well, why don't they consider the relationship of the coal miner who's fucking breaking his back, the relationship of the construction worker, the relationship of cops and firemen who are doing all this physical labor on the behalf of women? Why don't they consider those relationships if they're so morally evolved, if they so consider everybody's opinion?
So shut the fuck up and let me say it.
All right, bro. Don't get mad though, bro. Are you okay, bro? Are you mad? Are you mad, bro? Because you asked if I was mad. I want to ask if you're mad, bro. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, cool, bro. I thought your shouting indicated you were mad, but I guess it's your Zen philosophy. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said I was okay. I didn't say I wasn't mad.
So you are mad. We want to establish you are mad, bro, right? You're mad?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Because talking to you is like talking to a 2-year-old. Now let me
talking to me like it's talking. You're a fucking retard. I'm trying to give you a lesson, an education, and how to argue effectively, and you're too fucking stupid to even grasp the point. How do you think I feel? It's like arguing with a poodle. I'm getting nonsense back here.
I'm giving you legitimate scientific evidence.
Scientific evidence can be reproduced, you fucking moron. If it's so scientific, you should be able to tell me the arguments at the very least. You can't even do that. You can't even make a definitive statement. That's how fucking scientific you are.
No. Listen, look, here. It seems that we're misunderstanding each other.
No. I'm pretty clear on what your understanding is. It's zero. There's no misunderstanding here. You simply don't grasp what the fuck you're talking about. You haven't made a coherent argument yet about your point.
Look, then give me a second to make it.
Okay, go ahead. You take your time.
You're only targeting women. You're not targeting feminists. And there is a difference between a
woman
and a
feminist. Targeting. How do you get that? I'm only targeting women.
Because it says women invariably neglect.
Yeah. How does that target? That's like saying only women can bear children. That identifies a function. That's not a target of attack.
No, I'm saying is this sentence only refers to women.
Right. It does. You're right. But let's look. If I said this, let me demonstrate the same parallel with another statement. What if I said this? Children are less thoughtful than adults. Am I attacking children by making that statement, or is that just a relevant observation? Children are make less coherent observations than adults. Is that a relevant statement about children, or is that an attack on children? That's an observation.
That's an observation.
Right. So why can't I make observational statements about women? How is that? How do you construe that as an attack?
Because one, it's an attack because right away you're automatically assuming that women automatically do neglect to consider the viewpoints of
They
others.
do.
But listen,
That's a true statement. That's not an attack. That's a true statement.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you is that that's not what the science shows. You don't have any evidence.
You don't even know what the fucking science shows. You're so dumb. You're referencing a study you haven't even verified yourself. That's how fucking scientific you are.
Dude. Look,
Dude, what? Dude, what? You haven't verified the science on it. Ironically, you're fucking trying to lecture me about science and the scientific method when you have no fucking clue what you're doing when you're covering a scientific point. You have no fucking experience with this point. You are just pulling out a study, something you read in a textbook, and taking it as the gospel truth. You have no fucking clue if that's true or not. And I've demonstrated that by asking you specifics to demonstrate that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I did tell you. I told you they considered...
Oh, you told me what?
I told you that they considered relationship, but that's...
What does that mean? What? I asked you the specifics. Explain it. What does that mean? What do they consider specifically?
So you're saying women invariably neglect viewpoints of others. That is you're saying...
Yes, that is a true statement. That is an observation. That's not an attack.
Okay, fine. That's what you're saying. But the thing is I'm not talking about feminists. I'm talking about women now. Remember, there's a difference.
Okay, right?
You're saying this about women.
Yes, women do not consider the viewpoints as well as men. Yes, I am saying that. That is an observation. Yes. Okay. I'm not saying that about feminists, even though I could very well apply it to feminists.
Have you talked to every single woman in the world and found her to neglect viewpoint of others?
Have you talked to every single guy in the world to see if he has a penis or not? Or are you just assuming that?
If they identify as a male, then they have a penis.
No, it's not. Some people are born without penises. Haven't you heard that? I'm surprised with all your scientific knowledge in scientific journals, you would know that there's some people born with deformities. They don't have a penis. Some people are born with 2 buttholes and zero buttholes. You didn't know that? With all your vast scientific experience, you didn't know that?
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Okay.
Well, no, you're making a point here. You're trying to say you can't say this about all women. Well, obviously, fucktard, I'm not saying it about all women. I'm saying it in general. I'm not talking about the exceptions to the rule.
And that's what makes it a fallacy called a hasty generalization.
You fucking idiot. We make generalizations all the time. We couldn't make medicine. You fucking idiot. We couldn't make medicine if we couldn't make generalizations. Because the human body generally works a certain way with males and females. So based on that generalization, we develop medicines for that. But some people have bad reactions to penicillin, whereas other people have good reactions to penicillin. Just because those 5 people out of 5 million people have bad reactions to penicillin, does that mean we take penicillin off the market? Or do we go, those are exceptions to the rule? Do we say, those are exceptions to the rule, but they don't disprove the rule? They don't disprove the rule. Have you ever heard of an exception to a rule?
A small sample of women that you've talked to.
Have you ever heard of an exception to a rule? Have you ever heard of an exception to a rule?
Of course.
Does the exception disprove the rule just because there's an exception?
No, it's not that's what an exception is.
That's my point. I'm sure there's women, very few of them, who do consider other things the way a male does when they're trying to come to a moral decision. But by and large, women do not do that.
See, this is where I want to challenge you because, like I said,
do it.
There are actual studies.
Right? These studies. These fucking feminist studies, just like the wage gap study.
Can I tell you where this study occurred before feminism existed?
No, you're wrong. You don't even know what feminism is. How do you know before it existed?
Feminism initially came about in the 60s, 70s.
No, that is the political arm of feminism. That is not the principle of feminism. That is the political arm of feminism. The political arm of feminism, which was vocal in the news and in the media, came about at that time period. But before that, the principle of feminism has always existed, which is when women try to take male authority, which they've done in various time periods throughout the centuries, not just in the 1960s. You're talking about the political movement called feminism, not the principle of feminism on which that political movement is based. Do you understand the difference?
Better than feminism?
What?
Why is patriarchy better than feminism?
What? I'm sorry, what?
Why should men have power and not women? Give me a reason why.
Why should men have power? That's like saying, why should men steer cars and not cats? Why not? Why not let cats steer cars?
So you're already assuming women to be inferior to men. That's sexist.
In certain functions, not in worth. Like for instance, let me give you for instance. In function, men are stronger than women. Therefore, if I want a firefighter, it wouldn't be sexist, it wouldn't be misogynist to say, I want a male firefighter 100% of the time, even though there may be female Russian bodybuilders, the exception to the rule, who may be stronger than a man. I still every time want a male firefighter 100% of the time because, in general, men are stronger than women.
But
Do you understand my point now?
Dude, I understand.
I'm talking about function, not worth. Just like I wouldn't say, I only like children, I don't like adults, or I only like adults, I don't like children. Children are not developed.
Intellectually not the same either. You're not
children, but look at children are not as intellectual as adults, but that doesn't mean their worth is less than adults. It means,
I get your point.
Okay, good. So I'm talking about function. I'm not talking about worth here as persons.
But you're saying women have less intellectual function as well.
Yes, they have less intellectual function as men, just like men don't have wombs and can't bear children. That's not misandrous. That's not hatred of males. That's stating a fact. Women have the function of bearing children. See, I'm talking about functions here. Men are much smarter than women. That's why men invented every fucking thing in civilization.
I know many women much smarter than you.
Oh, they're so smart that they fucking invented ABC blocks and rolling pins and windshield wipers. That's how fucking brilliant they are.
How about Mary Curie, who revolutionized
Mary Curie. I like how we start going back in time to... Plus, we can't even verify how many of these guys were fucking manginas and put their wife on the patent just to make her feel good. I love those stories. And plus, and not to mention, all the feminists who fuck up and tell wives' tales about, conveniently called wives' tales, about female accomplishments, they attribute to females, like, for instance, the syringe. There's feminist sites that say women invented the syringe, when a man invented the prototype syringe. It wasn't the modern form, but it was the basic concept of the syringe. So women make derivative. Women always make derivative inventions based off of male inventions, not their own original invention.
It's false that they always do.
It's false. Again, we got exceptions to the rule. We already covered that. That doesn't disprove the rule. By and large, society...
Always, if it's not true, always.
We're saying in general, you fucking retard. It's called a generalization for a reason. Men are smarter than women, and the evidence is history. The evidence... The evidence is in history. If women were just as smart as men, they would be inventing things, cars, computers, in equal numbers to men, as men. And I love the feminist argument, women weren't educated enough. Women didn't have opportunity. Some of the most brilliant inventors weren't even formally educated. Who the fuck even who was even in charge of education? Who wrote the fucking books? A woman isn't allowed to write a textbook? She could have self-educated. I'm self-educated. Why can't women be self-educated? I haven't met a woman that's smart as me. Bring her to a debate with me. I would love to debate one of these bitches into the ground that you think is a genius. I would love to do that. Bring her.
I didn't say I thought she was a genius. I thought she was smarter than you. It doesn't.
Great, bring her. I'd love to see if you consider. If you're any judge of intelligence, this chick is a fucking rock. I want her to come to a live debate with me.
Rights or not?
I would love to see her in a live debate with me. That would be hilarious.
Answer the question.
What?
Men and women have the same rights or not?
Do they right now? Is that what you're asking?
Should they?
Should they?
Men and women.
Fuck no. Should children have the same rights as adults? Should chimpanzees have the same rights as humans? Should grass have the same rights as cats? I mean, you're fucking talking about different functions here. Rights equal responsibilities. Rights? No, genius. Rights equal responsibilities. Right? Look, you're a fucking idiot. I'm trying to explain to you.
Otherwise, end this farce. This is stupid.
Oh, you're gonna rage quit? You're gonna tap out like a little bitch. I'm gonna make my point if you leave. I'm still gonna make my point if you leave. You're gonna rage quit. You tapping?
I have nothing to say to you. It's talking to a wall.
You're tapping out like a scared little bitch, right? In other words, right?
I'm scared of nothing.
Okay, yeah. Guys, this debate's getting too intense. I gotta leave. Okay, I'm gonna make my point, and you can rage quit if you want. But I really want you to stay. But if you're gonna go, you're gonna go. There's nothing I can do.
1 second before you make your point.
Go ahead.
The mere fact that you couldn't understand any of the points I was making.
Any of the points? Couldn't understand them.
Is evidence of the fact that you don't even fully understand and grasp things yourself. And, I made a big mistake coming here trying to talk to you because I thought...
You made a big mistake because you're too fucking dumb to debate me. That's what your mistake was.
And I thought we could try, and I could try and reason with you, but...
You have to be reasonable in order to reason.
You fail to understand what it is to communicate. You fail to understand what it is.
Said the guy who initially tried to send me a PM as a condescending little bitch and also ducked out of the first debate. This is the guy lecturing about communication.
Fail to understand so many things.
So many things. So many vague things. Just like a cowardly little bitch, you leave it all vague, no specifics, because we get down to specifics, we prove you're a liar. We prove you don't know shit about what you're talking about. That's why you don't want to talk about specifics.
Every time I specified, you got confused.
Well, every time? When was that? I'm glad we have the record in this debate, because it's comedy. It's fucking comedy.
Every time you asked me to clarify, and I did.
Oh, you did? Just like you clarified in that initial moral example, which you kept saying, no, just let's move on. That one? Is that the one you're talking about, you clarified?
It's about relationships.
It's about relationships. How clear is that? How fucking vague are you? It's about relationships. What the fuck is that?
This is what I'm talking about. You don't understand. The point
I don't understand. You're right. I don't understand vague assholes like you that don't make coherent points. That's why I'm asking you to be specific, so you can make a coherent point.
The point was the study was counter to your claim.
The study that you don't have a fucking clue how it was conducted. You can't reproduce the study. You can't even talk in an educated manner about the study, and then you're passing it off. This is called an authority fallacy, you fucking moron. You don't know anything about this study. You just read it and you assume it's a gospel truth. I'm quizzing you on the study to show cause here that you're a fucking idiot and you don't know what a scientific method is or what science is or how to conduct a scientific study to verify if these things are valid.
Are you finished your ad hominem? Do they want to talk?
I handed out all the M&Ms I'm going to hand out today.
Homonym, you moron.
Sorry. Okay, you want to go to the audience reaction and see what a genius you are? You want to hear from the audience? Or are you going to tap out? Are you going to be a cowardly little bitch and tap out, or do you want to hear from the audience?
I just said turn on the mics. What else do you want me to say?
Okay, settle down. You mad, bro? Bro, are you mad? Settle down.
If you're too unable to hear me, then let's just stop now. But I said yes many times. Turn them
many
on.
times? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't count the numerous times you said it. Okay, let's get some opinions here. Let's get some opinions here. Tiger Blood. Come on, let's hear from you. What do you think of the debate so far?
I thought it was really entertaining. I was just glad that he hung around for as long as he did. But it was really painful to listen to because there were so many instances of where you would disprove his theory and you would just expose it and just shit on it,
okay.
and then he'll completely ignore the fact that he's full of shit and try to move on to another point and act as if like you didn't prove him wrong. I mean, it's oh my god, it just seems like a common thing when you're debating people from online. They think they're smart, and then once they realize that what they think is bullshit, they try to attack you or
I didn't attack him one time.
Yeah, he didn't attack me one time. You see that? He even caught his own lie. He realized how stupid he sounded. He said, I didn't attack you, what? And he realized how ridiculous it was, and he censored himself. That's how absurd this guy is.
He's in denial right now. He's in denial. Like,
yeah.
Okay,
thank you.
Let him continue talking.
Payson, hold on, Payson.
I'll rebuttal when you're done. I didn't want to interrupt you, so you continue, and I'll carry on what I was going to say when you finish.
Payson, go ahead. What do you think of the debate so far?
Fuck, dude, I'm disappointed that he wants to leave. I want him to
Me
stay
too.
so badly because I'm really learning a lot on how to rebut certain things in this debate. I mean, when you brought up how like the whole exception to the rule thing, like you countered it, like he said, you haven't talked with every single woman on the planet Earth to verify this claim, and then you were like, well, you haven't talked to every man on the Earth to see if he has a penis or not, and I was like, no, that's a great argument. It's funny how his argument, if he's going to say that, then he has to apply it to what he's saying too, and when he does that, it completely breaks down his argument, and I was surprised he wasn't able to understand that. Like, I feel like this guy is...
But it is a hasty generalization to say every
man...
Hold
on.
Let him
hold on a second. I feel like this guy is, he's one of those guys who reads a textbook or, like here's something sees a quote from Einstein and he just takes it as, oh, this is the truth because this person said it, because this journal conducted this survey and this is a popular journal. They're right. It seems like that's what he's doing. And I can see how that messes with his arguments a lot, and how easy it is to just say that's an authority fallacy. So I can see where some of his arguments are breaking down, and I like how you're deconstructing them.
Okay, 18. What did you think of the debate so far?
I thought it was really entertaining. I'm surprised because I thought I didn't expect that much from This Is Stupid, because it seemed like he was talking a lot of shit, but at least he's coming on really strongly with his argument, and I really appreciated that because not a lot of people do that. But it's so frustrating because I see you debunk his arguments, and like as soon as you say this stuff, I'm like, oh, like that makes so much sense. But then This Is Stupid isn't admitting it, and that's frustrated me because I think even he knows inside he just can't bring it. It's like too humiliating for him to admit that his argument was wrong here, and that's what's frustrating me. This Is Stupid. I really hope you don't leave because I think you can actually learn a lot from this debate.
Okay, thank you, Soul Brother. What do you think so far?
I could not understand a single one of his points. I mean, he was all over the place. I mean, one time he was talking about like female morality, and another time something else. I couldn't understand a fucking thing.
How many people are here, by the way?
Just these right. If you click on the little corner box, you can see everybody at once. If you click on the top right hand corner, you'll see like a bunch of squares. That gives you the full chat view. What do you, Marlo? Were you here for the debate? For the part you caught? What did you think so far?
Yeah, I thought, like Payson said, he sounded like he's a guy who reads a lot of books and talks very highbrow words, but when it comes down to specifics, it's very hard for him to keep his arguments solid. And I looked at the things that he said. Even in the chat room, I thought he was basically misunderstanding. He was clueless about what's written in the ebook, what we really mean. For instance, when he said women take into consideration relationships. When I read that sentence in the ebook, when I hear that sentence in the ebook, it means for me that women don't take into the consideration the needs of others. They think mostly of themselves. And when he says about the study, even if the study is true, then they take the considerations of relationships in order to see how they can do their best for themselves and not get hurt. So they're basically taking into consideration what goes on around them in society, so they will feel more secure. Then you talked about hasty generalization fallacies. You didn't understand that people make observations and take from the specifics that they see into concepts, into principles. No, I understand. You just called it hasty generalization. Then you just made a fallacy out of it for some reason. You didn't take into consideration that's how proofs are built: evidence and evidence and evidence from observations. Then you said women weren't allowed to read textbooks for years. I don't know if that's true, where you got that from. I heard many women who were getting degrees even 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago. And then you said rights are symbols of worth. That's for me like the ultimate misunderstanding of what we're saying here. Because listen, rights are not symbols of worth. They're like a consequence of there's something you need to do.
Okay, let's not start a debate. Just keep it specific to the debate. What you thought of the debate. Don't try to debate him. Just talk about the specifics of what you thought about the debate.
Well, I thought he really is a little bit clueless about the principles of the ebook and what is written in the ebook, and it's he has a lot of confidence in what he says because he studied a lot and basically, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Pinata. What was your opinion so far?
I wasn't here for the debate,
okay.
But I can tell he's fucking pissed.
Don't worry about that. Z-Dog, what did you think so far? Can we get your opinion, please? I unmuted your mic. Go ahead. Oops. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
First of all, I think this guy's probably the most picture-perfect kind of academic these days, because he does everything that I typically recognize in academics, which he complains about ad hominems. I mean, I think, from my perspective, I don't think ad hominems really affect an argument in any way. I think if both parties in the argument, I think actually if anyone witnessing the argument...
If that's an argument, you shouldn't use them. That's stupid.
Right. Meanwhile, this guy's calling me moron, stupid. I mean, he's yelling things at me and lecturing me about ad hominems.
It doesn't affect...
Join him.
Great.
If it doesn't affect the argument, because anyone who's watching, anyone who can think rationally, who's watching and witnessing the argument, can look past the ad hominems at the points being made and then
why use them?
Yeah, well, ask this guy.
Yeah, I don't fucking care. And then also, he's always, one thing actually I think people really need to realize too, because a lot of people, they always ignore this, and it's fucking annoying, because they'll show up to a debate, and they'll just throw, studies at you. You can't debate with a study that you can't test right then and there. It's not worth it. We have, like, our debate here has always been with, reason. That's the point. We debate.
Hey, hold on a second. Hey, Thomas, you gotta stop. You have to stop shuffling around because it's affecting your mic. You're hitting the mic, so just stop moving.
This is how much I care.
Alright, I'm gonna mute your mic while he gives the rest of his opinion. Go ahead.
This guy's a chick.
Z-Dog, go ahead.
What a fag.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I think people need to notice this, or at least hear this in the debates, because those who want to show up in debate need to understand that if you're going to do nothing but cite studies that you read, that can't be trusted. We've proven that studies can't be trusted.
Yeah, he's too dumb to realize that.
Unless it's like personal observation that you say that you witnessed, I mean, it's almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
And still, you'd have to be able to prove it logically.
Like, I could just say, I have studies that count. I have 20 studies right here. Oh, sorry, I can't reference them, or you can't test them. That disprove your study. I mean, what's the worth of a study then?
Yeah, I mean, the point of a study is that...
You haven't done a study. That's what I was saying.
No, actually, we have done studies. You're just too dumb to realize it.
Let me see your accredited peer
Hey, dummy, we're hearing from the audience. We'll get right back to you. We got one more person, then we'll get right back to you. Have some patience. All right, Z-Dog, anything else?
No, I'm done.
He rage quit like a little bitch.
We're done.
Last guy, Traptowski, you have anything?
RAGEQUIT.
Is Traptowski there, or is he tapped out?
He's plugging in the computer. This thing's running out of battery power.
Okay. Well, there you have it. This debate, I'm getting used to having the moderator there to kind of like calm parties down if tempers flare. I mean, my tempers don't flare. It's just I'm answering this guy in kind. But I'd like to not give him the satisfaction of saying, oh, you talked over me or blah, 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 or you were insulting me. That's why I like having the moderator there. But he didn't want to have the moderator. I wanted to have the moderator. I asked him a couple times if he wanted to have the moderator, if he was sure. He said no problem. So he's not allowed to make that fucking childish excuse, that little bitch excuse. You talked over me. You agreed to not have the moderator. I always want to have the moderator here from now on because I don't want you to have that excuse. But again, you wanted to go without the moderator because you thought you were a badass. And you rage quit like a little scared bitch, just like we knew you were going to do.
Yeah. It looks like he shot himself in the foot right there.
Trapkowski, your thoughts on the debate?
So angry.
He rage quit, bro. He rage quit. Trapkowski.
Yo.
Anything?
This is the first debate I've actually watched in person in a while, and I just was gonna say it's fucking awesome. Like, it's really entertaining because he was so aggressive. Like, he starts shouting and getting angry.
I love it.
I love the entertainment value of this debate.
I love how he just all of a sudden, you fucking moron, and then the next sentence.
It's like, whoa, dude.
I like that. I like that contrasted with like a few sentences later. See, you're using ad hominems, sir. I can't believe you're using ad hominems. And then 2 minutes later, that's because you're a fucking idiot.
I know.
This was hilarity.
Like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to be so emphatic and calm with it. I was trying to like make the points like this so I didn't get like too emotional and get, oh my god, this guy's an idiot.
Here's what's funny. He accused you of being angry, and like you were obviously pretty calm during the whole thing. I mean, you raised your voice to make a point so he could hear you, but like he was like obviously getting emotional and angry about it. He was like screaming.
I thought there was gonna be a couple of tears.
Angry, bro? And, it's like, and then you threw it back in his face.
I like how he asked how I'm angry. And then I ask if he's angry. No, yeah, bro. And then I clarify. No, I am angry, but not this point.
Yeah, at first
like
he was like,
he's such a legalist.
And he was like, no, I'm not angry.
He's such a legalistic asshole. He's like fighting for semantics when it concerns him. But when I want him to be accurate, oh, bro, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, bro. No, that word, retort. You can retort. That doesn't matter. Rebuttal, retort, same thing. Like it doesn't matter. A rebuttal's a retort, same thing. He doesn't care.
Really
so you can see the type of guy who grows up under this feminist educational system. They reason just like women. This is just a female reasoning at work here. It's very emotional, nonsensical, incoherent. Doesn't even make sense. Any last words from anybody? Anybody got it before we close the debate?
Well, I'd just like to say that I'm really glad that we find, like, because I've been looking forward to the time where we get a highly indoctrinated feminist guy in here. Because I mean, the closest we got to that was like Jamie Kidd,
Right.
But he wasn't that bad.
Here's the thing.
He was reasonable.
The highly indoctrinated ones, just like this guy, won't debate us. So it was kind of lucky that we even got this guy to debate, because he's the typical feminist. He's the typical feminist. Like an academic, flaunting his qualifications. I studied at the School of Philosophy, and if you had any brain, you'd know how to set up an argumentation in a debate. Like, he fancies himself an intellectual giant.
That's exactly why I wanted to see him here, because he is one of those people who was on the internet. He's like, oh, if you had half a brain, you'd know this, you know that, you know this. So keyboard warrior tough. And I wanted to see how he would play out in this debate face to face.
Well,
and
you saw
I was
it.
really surprised.
You saw
how
it.
it went down.
I
Well,
didn't see much of him, but that fool was a bitch. He was all mad, dude.
Yeah.
Fine. No. Like, holy, I even got scared. I wasn't even here for the whole debate.
He was
And I'm like, this guy. Yeah,
It's like
taking his chairs.
he's like going around waving his flag of intellectualness, and then he comes in here, he's like, he turns into a wild man.
well, I'm sure we'll
He
hear.
told you in the chat room. He's like, I'm not mad, bro. I'm not mad, bro.
I'm not mad. I'm sure we'll hear plenty. I'm sorry, some of the other students are going to be pissed they didn't come into this debate, because I thought this was one of our. I mean, we've had the striptease debate, we've had instant rage quit at the beginning debate.
Yeah, I wish I saw
We've
that.
had so many different debates, but I mean, it's always a roller coaster, our debates, depending on our opponent's sanity. But I think this was one of the best debates so far, at least exposing academic feminism and how fraudulent and fucking childish and silly they are with their arguments. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you for another wonderful episode of Manhood Academy Debates. We'll see you